All right, we are recording. Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. It is February 27th, 2017. I cannot believe that February is almost over. 2 months of 2017 have just flown by, you guys. Can you believe it? It's almost March. So I am super pumped, though, because we have guest speakers on tonight that have some amazing stuff to share with us, all about building your tribe and finding the right people to join your team and to help move your business forward. So I'm going to start off just by giving them a little bit of an introduction. So Karri Legault and Megan Ewoldsen are success partners in the business, and they've both been coaching for around 4 years. I know, Karri, you can correct me, but one of you was at around 4 years. One of you is around 4.5 years that you guys have been coaches, but they're success partners, which I love. I love seeing like two amazing, thriving success partners together, because it just shows that when you just really find the right people that move you forward and that push you to be better, it really can help you just move forward in your business. So to give you guys a background on Megan and Karri. So Megan is a 15-star diamond, lifetime 15-star diamond, top 10 coach, 4-time elite coach. And Karri is an 11-star diamond, 3-time elite coach. She's also a Success Club All-Star legend at 48 months. That is crazy. 48 months. How many years is that?
Megan just hit it today.
Oh my gosh, that is so awesome. Like, is that like 4 years straight?
Yes.
My Lanta, you guys. That is consistency right there. So, and she also placed second at the Beachbody Classic, which is that awesome competition that they have at Summit. So awesome. So tonight, like I said, you guys, they are going to be sharing with us all about how to build your tribe and attract the right people to your business. So with that being said, I am going to turn it over to you, Karri, and just kind of give you the floor to get started. I'm going to, let's see, let me find your video here. I'm going to ping your video and mute myself, and then you can just kind of get going. So, yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. That was such a sweet introduction. Happy to be here and share with you all. Megan and I are truly open books. So if you have any questions, just throw them in the chat, and if it happens after, I'm sure they can just be relayed to us. Just to back you up a little bit, Megan and I, when we first started coaching, like there wasn't all this information at our fingertips. Like Google was our best friend, FAQ was our best friend, asking people constantly, like diving in and figuring out things on our own and failing forward a lot. So what we're going to talk about today is how to recruit or how to attract your tribe, not to burn the fields, not to collect as many people as you can, to build solid relationships and really foster those relationships from the get-go. I feel like has done Megan and I so well over the years, and all of this is possible because we were willing to fail more. Like, you're going to hear some things tonight that might not work so perfectly for you, but you're hopefully going to hear some nuggets that you can take away and implement right away. So basically we have it broken down into 3 areas, but in those 3 areas, we're going to give you 3 little categories within them. So the first one that I want to talk to you about is upgrading our customer to coach. And we do that in 3 different ways. Again, some of you may use these strategies, and some of you may say, oh, that's not for me. But one of the formulas that we constantly follow, even 4 years into this, is connecting with people, connecting with new people in a safe, welcoming environment of a free challenge group. Now, we don't prescribe a certain way to run a free challenge group on our team. We let people kind of take the reins and go for it, and with whatever their niche is. We've had some pretty creative ones throughout the years. One that I really like is when it starts to get a little bit warmer out and people are starting to think about running their 5Ks and whatnot. They'll do like a free 5K or Couch to 5K program, but have a photograph theme of the day. So like they make it a little bit more interactive. So like one day the assignment might be a stop sign. Another day the assignment might be, I don't know, something silly, fire hydrants or whatnot, just to keep it interactive and fun. So like, we really don't prescribe how to do those free challenges. We just say, that's the place that you're going to be building a relationship with someone. So you want to be genuine and you want to add more value than you ever expect them to add to your life. So we're talking in these free challenges about nutrition. We're talking about fitness. We're guiding them with all different types of wellness. Maybe we're even sharing things from whatever we're reading in personal development. We're kind of giving it to them all at once in those free groups. Because it sounds not so nice, but in the free groups and also our next step, which is the Shakeology group, or the next part, is a time limit, a certain fixed time limit. So the free groups, we usually say, like a week-long free group is great. Some people like and swear by the month-long, then that's fine. That works for them. That's just a little too long for me for a free group. Our Shakeology groups, we run from 5 to 10 days. And we make it a point, if you're a business builder, you should be doing this every month so that you're introducing new people to Shakeology every month. And the reason we do it 5 to 10 days is that we want people to have enough time to experience Shakeology, to feel a change. I felt it personally at day 3. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know if this is placebo effect, but I don't need a nap. So like, that was my experience. So I know that people are going to start to feel a change by day 5, whether it's energy or whether it's, their irritable bowel is feeling better, or, maybe they're even sleeping better or whatnot. So by day 10, they're definitely going to be feeling it. But my point there is those free challenges, you want to give them a specific time limit so that this is the key point, they miss you. I know it sounds a little silly, but you really do. You want them missing your community. You want them missing your positivity, because I really feel like if we had a way to bottle up, and I saw some amazing cool team names at the beginning, if we had a way to bottle up your tribe, your community in a bottle, literally, and share that with other people, it would be so much easier to attract people, because they would be like, I want to be part of that. So that's what we use these groups for. And that third one is your fitness challenge group. We kind of make that easy for our team. We have a 30-day, and I think Alexa says she does the same thing, like a scripted thing that you can just take your pictures and plop it in and kind of post. So it's easy for that new coach to just jump right in and get started. So the upgrading from customer to coach, the first step is groups. We offer those 3 different types of groups. The next step is really thinking about the people in your group. So what does that upgrading process look like? How do we empower the different personalities within our group? So both Megan and I have a background in group fitness instructing, and I did it for a little while before I had children, and then I tried to do it in between having children, and it didn't really work out. And I have yet to go back, and I'm expecting baby 3, but I think I'll eventually make it back. I digress. But what we share in common from having that group fitness in our minds, or myself having 12 years experience in the middle school math classroom, is people need to feel empowered in their own type of personality, in their own type of way. So like for that shy student, in 7th grade sitting in my math class that's always sitting towards the front and hanging on every word, it's probably not best to shout out her name and be like, and you got 100 on this quiz, you know what I mean? But going a long way with her would probably be a little sticky note, like just walking by and putting it on our desk saying like, I am so proud of you and all the effort you're putting in. So we kind of treat our challenge groups as the same way. You got your front row divas that are like, hey, notice me. I am already coaching in your group. I am adding value. I'm commenting, I'm posting. And you celebrate them, you recognize them in that page, and you cheer them on for cheering others on. And then you shoot them a nice little message saying, hey girl, you're already doing what I do, and frankly, you're basically doing a better job than I can do. Thank you for co-leading this group with me. It's really appreciated. Have you ever thought about coaching? Or however you want to frame that. You're just building them up, you're edifying them, you're empowering them at their personality. So then you're looking for that back row person that shows up every day, and maybe they like every post, but they're not commenting. Or maybe in a personal message, you find out that they're doing really great and really appreciate that community. Relating to them is going to be slightly different, and it might sound like, hey, I know where you're coming from, and I'm so proud of what you're doing, and I'm so thankful that you're finding value in these groups. You know, I'm sure you have other friends and family that would find value like this. Can you think of anybody that, you know, might enjoy being in this group with you? You know, so you have a partner in crime kind of thing. And then that leads to the conversation of, oh, you can get your Shakeology at a discount with these friends and family joining you. And like, you know, it's the whole community as a whole. So we're kind of looking through these groups for different things to pick up on, like who's that super competitive Ruby style person, you know, like that is jumping in on any of your, you know, group challenges within that challenge group, you know, like the water tagging 17 people or whatever they look like. So that's what we're doing in that customer to coach upgrade when we're for that upgrading process, you know, on who we're going to be asking to join us. And then the third part there is, how do we identify that coach potential?
My favorite peanut butter and stuff.
I think someone's unmuted. That's okay. How do we identify that coach potential? And again, what we're looking for there is, you know, somebody like you, somebody that's you would be friends with off of Facebook.
Oh, there it is.
And you're going to like having conversations with them. It's going to come very easy to you. They stand for the same things that you do. You know, for me personally, it would be, you know, somebody that is looking to clean up their nutrition with simple swaps, and somebody that is, you know, passionate about, you know, exercise, and, you know, passionate about being a person with integrity and all those kinds of things. So I'm looking for people that are like me, but not exactly like me. A simple way for me to put it, who am I looking for? I'm looking for people that I am proud to be calling them my friend, or I would be proud if they called me their friend. So that's what we're kind of looking for in these groups. Megan is in here. I'm just not sure where she is.
Here I am.
Okay.
I'm not with it today.
That's okay.
Like, seriously, you gave me your prego brain.
We do everything together.
You know what I did today? I was just telling my husband this. He just walked in the door. I put my keys in the ignition, and I couldn't get them out. Like, I pulled up to the house, and I couldn't get them out. And then I tried to turn the car back on, and I couldn't. And I spent 20 minutes trying to figure out why I didn't have the car in park. Like, that's what kind of day it is.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, so
we were just talking about how in that first customer to coach upgrading process, I went over the groups. I touched on how we empower the different people, like the front row diva and the person hanging out in the back. And then what I was starting to touch up on was how to identify the coach potential and how we close with them. And I know that you have like some really great ways to do that. And I think that a lot of us overthink them, honestly.
Yeah. I was on a call today for corporate, like with Doug Moss, and I was telling them it's a group of people that are pushing for elite. I mean, that is how you and I both, when we started 4 years ago, almost exactly, over 4 years ago, we recruited from our challenge groups, and that's exactly what we did. We looked for those personality types, and, you know, just like you would form somebody, you know, bringing a customer from social media into the conversation and really getting to know their personality and moving them in that direction. It's really all about that communication and what's going to appeal to them. It's the same way upgrading from customer to coach, right, out of your challenge groups. And it's great because in a challenge group, you really get the time to get to know them and see them interacting, and you know exactly, you know, who they're going to attract. So you can talk to them about it. So, you know, we teach our coaches that, Karri and I teach our coaches that, especially the new ones recruiting out of the challenge groups. And then we also recruit as a team. And I'll just kind of lead us into that. We do 3 different types of recruiting as a team, not so much the webinar anymore, but a Blitz, a sneak peek, and a webinar. And sometimes we mix all these together.
And we just added open house too.
Oh yeah, we need to add that.
Yep.
Yeah, that was kind of fun. And I was telling the call today too, like in all areas of this business, it's all about the hustle. And what I mean by that is, like, if you're not trying one thing several different ways and just, giving it up on it the first time, then that's not running this business, because you're going to have to do it over and over and over again, and you're going to tweak it, and you're going to do it again, and you're going to tweak it, and you're going to do it again. And that's exactly what we've done with our systems, with our recruiting, like with everything, new coach, getting started right calls, everything. And so anyway, I'll just take you guys into the first one. Carrie actually takes hold of the reins with this. It's called a Blitz. And what you do is, we'll put all the coaches in a group. You could probably explain this better than me, but, and is it every hour or every
5 minutes for an hour?
Every 5 minutes for an hour, there's a topic, there's a success story, there's a little piece of Beachbody, something. So what's really great about a Blitz is, number one, it's good for getting your new coaches involved, and they're learning too, because something's being posted every 5 minutes for an hour. And, if that's happening at night during a high traffic time on social media, guess what's going to be popping up in the news feed like all the time? When they're sitting there watching TV and scrolling on their phone, it's going to be the information in the Blitz. So, Carrie, what are some of the topics you guys post, just to give an idea?
Yeah, so we do, I just lost my screen. I'm like staring into the darkness. So we do a bunch of different topics, but like you said, like we highlight different success stories because we want people to relate to the different stories that we're highlighting. Like we've used the corporate ones from Super Saturday videos. Those have been really successful. Ones that have really resonated with people are Becky Brossett, how do I sound? Yeah, okay, so Christina and Becky's story combined, like we kind of share both of them, saying like, hey, if you think your market's saturated, try being a sister in a city and live a couple miles apart. Like, you don't have room to really complain. We do Nicole Jones. She did a Super Saturday one a while back, and it was like a gasoline story. If you've heard that one, she's at the gas station and she tells her husband to fill it up, and he's like, oh my God, you've lost your mind, because they maxed out their credit card to buy her that program. So she's already making money with Beachbody. So it's an incredible story. And then there was one more. It was a single mom. She left an abusive relationship with her 2 little girls, and has totally turned her life around, and her name's escaping me right now. But we try to highlight a lot of different stories so that that people can relate, and we keep it light and we keep it fun. And we also tap into like different goals that people have. Like, what if money was no option? What would your perfect day look like? Or what would your ideal fitness goal be? Or what was your ultimate performance goal? Like, just all different things, learning about those people really quick and being really interactive. But then we go into and finish up with, like what we finish up in our sneak peeks with, how do you earn? Because that's what people really want to know when they're in there for a business opportunity Blitz kind of schedule.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and then the next one is a sneak peek. And so I kind of came up with an outline for this. And again, it was a lot of hustle to find which one worked best. I tried a 3-day sneak peek. I tried a week-long sneak peek. We tried 10-day sneak peeks. It was like we tried all the sneak peeks. And I found that what worked best, which we carried on to the team, and then we started doing as a team, mostly the leaders combining together, is just doing a 5-day. That way it's not too long, not too short. It's right before the weekend. And the topics we cover are very like you're a new coach already, pretty much. So, day one, I dive right into social media and just telling them what to expect. Like, this is the kind of content you need to post. This is how you relate to people. Letting them know they're about to be really excited because they're going to sign up with a product, or if they're already a customer and they love their product already, they're really excited to get on board. But not everybody is going to be that excited on social media, so this is how you gradually ease them into, finding a love for Beachbody product by posting the content and building the relationship and forming them and moving, really training these people, the prospects, on how to be a new coach already. So social media is pretty much a really big part of it. Then, definitely how to earn would be one day. And we go over the team cycle bonus. We go over Success Club and why it's important. I mean, really setting their expectations already before they're even coaches. I was talking to one of my personally sponsored coaches today, Haley Sherwood, who's pushing for Elite. And she said, when I signed up, I sat down and I told my husband, I knew exactly what I had to do. I had to start a like page, and I had to post this on social media, and I have to go Emerald, because if I go Emerald, I start earning this, and this is where you really start to see your income grow. And so that's the goal of the sneak peek, to cover those topics. The rest of them are escaping me. I think it's just PV, Success Club.
Yeah, and I love the ending with how to sign up, and then celebrating the people that are joining the team right in that group. So it's like, we want to be part of this too.
Yeah. We mixed the Blitz and the sneak peek together once at our team retreat. Oh, yeah. And so, even if you're not doing retreats, if you have coaches in your area that you get together with, this would be really fun to do. We had a blast doing it. It was every, 10 minutes or so, a group of coaches would go live in the sneak peek, and they would cover a topic together. We kind of pass around the phone. It was cool because they got to know our personalities on the team, and just see our team culture and stuff like that.
You know what, Megan, I just thought of, and I think we should try it. We could do that again, but we could have just local pockets around the country and just go live.
Yeah.
That would be fun. Failing forward right in front of everybody. That would be cool.
Yeah. So, that's how this works. Like, you just have to keep thinking of new things to do and keep trying them. Maybe we'll go back to doing a 10-day sneak peek. Probably not, but
this would be easy for everyone to do on a Super Saturday.
Yes.
Because you're there with a few of your teammates usually.
Yeah.
I'm writing that down.
You could do a Northeast and a Southeast one. Like, oh my God, you're giving them our ideas.
It's okay. The ones who are going to run are going to run, and they're just going to help us.
That's kind of what's great about sneak peeks too, is in the actually no, I'll get to that in a minute. The third one's a webinar. I feel like everyone knows what that is. It's like this. And you basically got the coaching opportunity. But I kind of just want to skip to what we did recently with the open house. We had our leaders, kind of take a topic a day. Each one would go live every day, and they would talk about something that would be referring to the open house guests. So, all of the coaches add their open house guests. I made a form, a Google form, so that the coaches could add their name, their email address, and a list of names that were in the group. So, once it's over, we can go down the list and make sure that our coaches are following up with the people on the list and see if they're still in the group, or, you know, maybe as the sponsor of the coach, I may even reach out to them, whatever, to see if our team's a good fit. So, so each leader would go through the week. It was a leader week, and we would go live about something, you know, what being on Team Fit and Fierce meant to them, more story sharing than anything, because they're in our team page learning about what a coach does already. So it's like, you know, we told them there's a search bar, they're Googling, or they're searching everything in Shakeology, they're searching how to, you know, this and that. They had questions, they saw us interacting as a team, and I let them know, you know, surprise, surprise, every Beachbody coach is doing the same exact thing out there. It's really a matter of, you know, are we a good fit for you? Is this the culture and the community you want to be accepted into, or just join into? And I think it would really, it went great, but I think we need to do another one, and really, you know, just kind of tweak and keep it moving. And so yeah, I don't know. That was kind of that was a new one. That was this year. And what else?
That went really good because it gave our leaders too, it edified our leaders in our big team page, and to see them soar like in that setting and just see the confidence in them glowing. And so each leader took a different day of that week, and I think we extended it through Monday because it was just going so well and it just felt so good. Yeah.
I kind of want to say something off topic, and it made me think today when I was talking to this other group of coaches who were pushing elite. So Karri and I, it's funny, like we pretty much have the same volume every week. Like it's kind of weird. We're on opposite legs, and you know,
Maybe also mention that we're on islands, so anyone can where they're planted.
Islands of opposite legs of our sponsor. But we've really been growing like pretty much the same rank, pretty much the same volume, same income. But, you know, Karri recruits less than I do, less coaches than I do.
Okay, let's just be honest, like way less.
That's what I was telling this group today. In 2015, I recruited 460 coaches.
I may have recruited 40.
Karri still has.
Maybe.
Your leader, I mean, Karri has grown levels deep because I couldn't spend the time working with all those people. It's just not possible. So while the volume's great for a while, they drop off because it's just not a sustainable way to build a business. So, you know, our topic is being a top recruiter. It just comes to show you can do it both ways. It's just that if you do it that way that I did, it takes up a lot of time. If you have kids, it's probably not going to work. So, but I don't know. It's just really honing in on these things and really focusing on them and doing them with your team is what makes you a good quality recruiter of good quality coaches.
And when we were assigned this topic, I messaged Megan after. I'm like, seriously? Like, what? Like, top recruiter? Like, I know I'm your Success Club partner, but top recruiter? And the previous year I did high performing leaders, which felt scary too because I felt like I was such a new leader, but I did have leaders on my team. So it was kind of like a mesh of the two this year. And I thought that was really great how we framed it, you know, like Megan's running with her leaders and that's what I'm doing. And we just got there differently. And the third part, which we don't have to take much time because I feel like corporate is doing an amazing job now with getting people started right now that Kim Carver has taken the reins on that. I mean, I feel like we're really so lucky with, if you haven't gone into your online office in the training section, what is it under? It's escaping me now. I know, shocking. I can't think of what it is off the top of my head. But it's the first 30 or something like that. And that has a lot of great information. I'm just trying to figure out a training library, and under that training library, so under training, you go to training library, and then there's all these different categories, and you should really be familiar with them, because if you're not treating this like a hobby, you're treating this like a business, hopefully, and these are the topics that you need to know. But the first 30 is a great welcome to coaches and everything. And what Megan and I discussed on our presentation at Summit was we went over the new coach checklist. We do a Getting Started Right call now live in our team page. And then we do our challenge groups in a way that is not scary for our new coaches. They hopefully have observed us in a challenge group. They've hopefully been a challenger. Then we host a challenge group together, and then we can be even a fly on the wall in their first challenge group and give them good feedback and whatnot, and what they're doing well and what they might try new. So we call that the I do, we do, you do, kind of like a classroom type thing. But that's basically it in a nutshell, is trying to keep to your 30-minute window and wrap that up quickly. But Megan had a great idea. And do you want to share our cover photo, what we do on our team cover photo, to make sure our coaches are starting right? That's your baby. You created that. I loved it.
Hold on. I'm so slow today.
Basically, right on our team cover photo, if they click in it,
is this, can you all see this?
We can see your page. Yeah.
Wait, is this right? Like, can you see Ashley Jett with this?
Yeah. Me.
Me with my freak out messages. Oh my God. All right. So this is our cover photo, and yeah, so it's big. For a while, I had a little click there, and people would say, "Where's the new coach checklist? Where's the new coach checklist?" I'm like, "Yeah, that click here needs to be a lot bigger." So, so they know where to get started, and it's right at the very top of our list, the new coach checklist. And we really wanted this to be like, you guys don't know how easy you have it. When Karri and I started coaching, there were, I don't know, I think 2 days worth of video in
our slideshow. It was an 8-hour slideshow. Yes.
Like, it was not Michael Neiman's humor. It was boring. It was awful. It was so bad, but that was what we had. That's all we had. And I know I hated it. Karri hated it.
Yeah.
And we were like, it needs to be quick and simple. They need to know just basics, like how to set up your profile, where Coach ID is, all the little stuff, get it out of the way so that when they get on the Get Started Right call or the Get Started Right broadcast, they already have that set up and they're ready to go on, what they need to be doing to get immediate results in their business. So, that's what we have here. It's, write down your Coach ID number, go to your online office, set up your EFT, like all those little things that your new coaches ask where you feel like you're on repeat. Sounding like a broken record. It gets it out of the way here. This is our personal development book that we recommend to our new coaches, only because, it's not one of those John Maxwell blow your socks out of the water books, but it helps you understand network marketing lingo and how the business model works. And it's a super easy read. You can, like, if I can read it in less than an hour, anybody can. So, and then a link to our new coach training, which is a photo album in our Fit and Fierce page. Each one of these topics links to a YouTube video, and that's our system. We haven't done the new coach new stuff yet, but they have all this here, and then they have our Get Started Right broadcast that Karri and I do once a month.
Right.
And that's it. It doesn't have to be overthought. It's simple, it's the same stuff over and over again. Just creating and what's funny is that system is so simple, but it took us a really long time to Karri and I had a website with bells and whistles that we stayed up. Like, we stayed up until, if I was up at 2 a.m. on the West Coast, you had to be, yeah. We put it all together. Nobody used it. Nobody. Nobody.
Yeah. Oh, failing forward at its finest.
Yeah. So
that's basically it.
That's it. Ta-da.
Yay. Well, that was awesome. And I don't know if anybody has any questions in the chat box. I think there were a couple of questions.
How did we meet? So there's this dating website, and Karri posted her picture, and I was like, oh my God. So Karri and I met at Summit
in person.
I joined the team. Karri had been a coach for like 4 months, and the day I joined, she went diamond. And of course, my little Ruby self was like, who's this diamond girl? You know, like, I have to be diamond because she's diamond.
It was 6 months to get to diamond, though. So
yeah, you didn't really. You didn't work the business until like 3 months into it or something. So I wanted to be like Karri, and we went to Summit that year.
And that was my last one up on Megan.
No,
she likes to one up me every single time.
No, because I don't get any bonuses this quarter.
I went from that first year, though. I went from Emerald to 5-star. Megan went from new coach to 6-star.
I'm going backwards, and you just keep going forward.
Oh, you're silly. But we met at Summit, and it was actually funny. We were in the John C. Maxwell training, and he opened it up to the floor for a Q&A at the end, and a gentleman walked up and he said, if you had one do-over when you began, what would you do? And I get chills every time, like I get goosey bumps coming up my neck. John Maxwell was like, I wouldn't have gone it alone. You know, he thought he had to do things all himself, his way, and be as perfect as he could be. And he said, I would have had someone with me and traveling this journey, like with me or whatnot, in John C. Maxwell voice and, you know, power. He said it. But Megan just turned to me and I'm like, we're doing this. Like, we're going to build a team together. And as crazy as it is, like, we don't help each other with volume or anything like that because we're on opposite sides of our team, of our sponsor. But it just made sense for us.
Yeah.
That's so cool. And also just a really good testament to why we all need to get to Summit, because same thing, like, I just feel like so many great friendships and relationships in this business are built at events, especially Summit. So for anybody who's on this or watching the recording and you're on the edge about Summit, hopefully, like, you could meet your future success partner.
I would have quit.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would have quit.
Oh my God.
Every September she messages me. She's like, white flag, this is it.
I think I made it to October this past year.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I'm like, Karri, for real. Yeah. So
I have a question for you guys. So you were kind of explaining, so you guys do free groups obviously every month, and then you have like your paid challenge groups, and then you also have like the groups that you're running with your team to help with recruiting, right? So in like one calendar month, like how many groups or would you say that you do? Because obviously I don't think you're doing a Blitz and an open house and a sneak peek, right? So you're kind of switching. Right. So which, like, in 1 month, like, what groups are you guys doing, would you say?
So it gets a little, so obviously Karri and I, it's a joint team. So Karri, you kind of take yours and
we do Shakeology challenges religiously.
Right. And, you know, like if some of my coaches cross over and do her Shakeology challenges, right, and
or jumping to Megan's sneak peeks or whatnot. Yep.
Yeah, it's, you know, they're accepted and whatever. But so that's hard because sometimes I'll just be like, hey, you know, I'm running a sneak peek with the leaders in my downline. Anyone want to hop on? And Karri's sometimes like, hey, me and my team are doing a Shakeology challenge. You know, it's just kind of like an announcement in the page.
Yeah.
What would you say?
Miley.
Person.
I would say each coach is probably doing like a Shakeology challenge for a free group to build a customer base. Then they're doing some type of fitness challenge and passively inviting by being part of some type of inviting group, whether it's a Blitz or an open house or whatnot. So I would say each coach is doing a minimum of 3 things each month. We don't love a lot of groups. We did like program specific groups before, and it just got ugly. Now with the all access is amazing. So it's actually sending us in that direction of, you know, mixing and intermingling programs, which at first we didn't understand how having someone doing P90X3 next to someone doing size was a great idea. It didn't make sense to us, but it made sense to them because the size person was like, hey, I think I like that, or vice versa, you know, so now it makes a lot of sense and it's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you. Thank you guys so much for sharing that. That helps. And it's also just good to hear that I'm not the only one that like changes it up and switches things every 2 months and kind of tweaks it and figuring out the best way to do things. It's always going to be trial and error because unfortunately there's no how to be a perfect Beachbody coach handbook where we learn everything. So you got to figure it out.
Yeah.
Gabrielle said, I would love to know what a Shakeology challenge entails. If you guys have a couple minutes just to share really quick.
Yeah. So this is something we've been doing forever. We started out doing it through email. Can you believe that? Like it wasn't even really, it was just a Facebook support group and our messages of the day came from that coach through email. Now we do kind of a theme of the day. We have the people join the group the Friday before the challenge starts. The challenge usually starts on a Monday, and we have some type of introduction on that Monday. We wait for that Monday to do the introduction because on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we really want them focused on the grocery list, grocery shopping, and meal prep. And we talk about those things to make that simplified so we set them up for success in this week ahead. So not only are they adding Shakeology, but they're also starting to do some better swaps for nutrition. So they're guaranteed to see results. So introduction kind of on Monday and also answering why they're here. So like the big why that we as coaches have to buckle down. We have them start thinking about that on Monday. And some people you'll see right out of the gate, like, oh, she's a coach. She was really vulnerable there, you know? And so it's kind of exciting to see that on day one. We talk about SMART goals. We ask them for 3 minor goals. We ask them for 1 dream big goal. What else do we do, Megan? Those are all separate days. So like, it's just like kind of a theme of the day. And then we'll throw in other things like water tag or what did you have for lunch today? Give us a screenshot or a picture or whatnot. I'm trying to think. Thankful Thursday, that always goes over well because it takes it away from the business and the nutrition and the fitness for the most part and lets people share who they are again after the last time they shared who they really were on Monday. So it brings it back on Thursday, which is nice. And then we sprinkle in different things about coaching, like how we earned and how we started out and kind of like almost like your opportunity post would be on social media. They're in there, but a little bit more transparent, maybe a live post or something like that. We do talk about in there how to earn their Shakeology for free or get it at a discount. So that when they're thinking about what's next, we finish up the group with that, like what's next? What's your next goal? What does the rest of this month look like for you? Because we usually have those at the beginning of the month. But that's basically what they are.
Yeah. It's kind of like a prep, like you're prepping these people to upgrade into a fitness challenge, getting a challenge pack. And that's really like what this whole thing is, you know, like you prep them to get to the next step and then you prep them to become a coach. And I guess prep isn't the word, groom or And then even when your coaches go silent, I mean, it just takes a little bit of, hey, what's going on in your life? Let's get you involved in the team page and get them back into it. I mean, you're constantly grooming as a leader or as a coach. But that's how I kind of saw my first Shakeology challenges. It was always a practice round for me to work on my communication with people and get them into feeling comfortable into a fitness challenge.
Building trust. I say the free group or the Shakeology group is where you really build the most trust with them, because the investment on their part is small.
Yeah.
And your investment is your time,
And it's really a good investment in your time, not only in that sense, but it forces you to educate yourself on Shakeology, which is a huge part of our business. Perfecting your Shakeology story and gathering your breadcrumbs and that kind of thing. So,
and I'm going to re-emphasize that first 30 again, because that last part that they've just most recently added is really a great tool for new coaches to learn about Shakeology. Like, awesome tool. If you haven't looked at it, I mean, we should have that pinned on our team page. It's that good.
Oh man.
It's great.
I love the first 30. I just started incorporating it this year, like since January, and it's just so simple, but really, I don't know, it's almost too simple, I guess, for me to create on my own, but I'm like, this is amazing, but it's literally just so basic and perfect for new coaches. So that's awesome. Okay, last question, one more. Lauren,
can I do the one that Lauren asked in the chat box?
Oh, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. But
Okay. Yeah.
if you want.
Oh, no, she was just saying to go back to the John Maxwell question. What would you go back and do differently, or is like working together what you guys would do, or would you guys do something differently starting off? What was your answer to that question?
I couldn't imagine my experience with Beachbody without Megan, so I would do it the same. It's the truth.
So I feel like I've built this business in every corner of Beachbody there is. And I'm not saying I didn't enjoy being a top 10 coach, but it hurt my business more than it did any good for it. I think that it wasn't, I don't even know how to say it. Like, I would have spent more time doing the things I'm doing now with my team and my leaders, and more things with Karri. But it took that to figure it out for me. Just to the point I'm at in my life, I'm a mom of 3 kids. I have a husband that works a lot, and I can't handle all those people, like, really. And then they all quit because I couldn't handle them all. So I think that's what I would have done different. Would have made more money so Karri and I could go on our own trip. No, just kidding.
Oh my gosh, Megan, we're forgetting placement.
Oh, yes, that and that. I would have signed up my husband first. That's it.
Oh,
he would have signed himself up first, is what I meant.
Yeah, we didn't have any guidance on placement when we started, and I know that might sound crazy to you because I'm sure you guys are well versed in what to do and how to use the binary system and how to build your spouse account from the beginning. So my middle school math background kind of clicked in when we got to like row 4. I was like, time out, there's a better way. Like, literally we were placing people 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm like, when we were at 1/16th, like, we were going to help that row 1/16th of the time. I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is bad. Like, we literally filled in going across because we didn't know. But we fixed that for our team. And luckily there's only a few rock stars that are stranded like we are. Like, I'm on the inside leg of a coach that quit, and I already had coaches, so I never got to roll up. And Megan's on the inside leg of a multiple business center and has one coach that we stare at. We're like, why? Because Megan built both of her legs and she doesn't build. So
No, I mean, like, I built both of her legs completely because my dad ended up like on her inside leg because I was just placing like this, filling in the dots. And so it's my dad and then my outside, and I've just been building both like back and forth. And so they're completely built. Haley actually is under my dad. So, I mean, if she would just sign up her mom and dad, she would make $250 a week. But
Yeah.
she didn't do anything.
She would also cap at Ruby and Diamond.
Oh, yeah. So.
What the heck?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Placement,
Okay.
yeah, placement. If that, disclaimer to anybody, if you don't know where to place any of your new coaches, please ask your upline, because placement is tricky and it really can kind of add up and make a big difference if you're not paying attention.
Huge.
So yeah, if in doubt, reach out to your coach. And if your coach doesn't know, reach out to your upline, Star Diamond, ask somebody is the main takeaway here. Okay, wait, I just thought, I'm going to put on my Jeff Hill hat. This is actually the last question.
Oh, no.
Really quick.
I love Jeff. We're good, Megan.
Okay. How has your life, both of you guys answer, how has your life changed since starting as a Beachbody coach? This last question, then we'll close it off.
I can't narrow that down to one thing. I've changed, not even from a financial standpoint. Like, obviously that's done a lot for our family, but like, I used to couldn't look at people in the eye to talk to them, you know? And then, you know, Karri and I are speaking to how many thousands of people at Summit, like, no big deal, just, and I think that was a confidence issue for me, which I have struggled with all my life until I got to doing this. So I don't know, just like the whole push out of your comfort zone thing just did so much for me in every aspect of my life and running a business and everything. So, but I still can't narrow it down. I mean, the relationships, like, I feel like Karri's my sister. It took me this long to find my sister. No, just, I don't know. It's crazy.
I love it. Karri?
Yeah, the community piece is huge for me also. I, like Megan, had some weird, and I don't want to say weird because there may be some people on the call that are still in this, and I want you to know there's hope, but some bad self-talk, like really bad self-talk, like you're not smart enough, you're not strong enough, you're not fit enough, you're not, you know, savvy enough, you're not, all these things. And it took me not too long to realize that we're totally enough who we are, and as long as we're a good person and trying to be better and do better and constantly striving. I don't know if you guys saw that Matthew McConaughey video that popped up in my feed, you know, being your own hero 10 years from now, but always staying out of reach. Like, that's kind of what this community does for people. Like, I didn't even wear shorts to work out, never mind at the gym, in my own home. And then I'm on stage in a bikini at the MGM in Vegas with heels on, you know, like total empowerment, total transformation on so many levels, and able to laugh at myself while I'm on stage, you know, like it's just so, yeah, but it's so life changing. And then on the health side of things, like I watched it save my brother's life. I watched it help my mom with her type 2 diabetes. I watched it help my sister get to her goal weight, like, and we both cried on the phone. I watched it change all my dad's scores. I don't even know what they are because I've never had problems with them. The HDL and LDL and all those levels. And the doctor be like, keep doing what you're doing. And he never had that before. So like that. And then the financial piece, you know, like Megan said, totally blessed. My husband and I are both home with our girls. Like, he's retired. I left teaching with a master's degree and never went back. And it's just like, I threw in that master's degree part, not to brag, but to say like I earned my master's degree while I was becoming a Beachbody coach and then decided to never go use it. So that's kind of weird. That's why I threw that in there. But yeah, total life changing. And just the team, being part of a team again. I mean, it's been awesome. And being able to set goals and dream bigger again, like that little girl self inside, if there are any men on there, little boy self, that was inside you. And it was like, I'm going to be, a doctor. I'm going to be a police officer. I'm going to be a teacher. I'm going to be the greatest mom. I'm going to do all these things. And now you can. Like, I don't know what the next 10 years are, but I'm excited for them. And that's what I think Beachbody has given me. So.
Oh, your answer was way better than mine.
But
you're always one up on me.
You gave me time.
I know you were sitting here thinking, like, I could see it in your eyes.
No, I still stick to my first one.
You're like the Felix the cat clock.
I wouldn't change anything.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Well, you guys are awesome. Thank you again so much for taking time out of your night and sharing with us. This has been really great. So many golden nuggets. I took a ton of notes, so I hope you guys all took notes, and I'm just really excited to implement a lot of the ideas and things you guys shared with us. So thank you again for taking your time out and sharing with us. And for everybody who popped on, this was like our biggest team call that we've had in a little while. So thank you to everybody that got on.
I'm jealous.
Well, we blasted it out because I was like, you guys, we have some legit speakers. So we like blasted it to our whole team and we had a good turnout. So
yay.
So awesome. Thank you guys again. I hope you all have a great rest of your Monday, and let's finish off February strong, okay? Thank you guys again. Have a great rest of your night.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye. Everybody.